In this example, you're going to create a stored procedure that's got 3 input parameters. The whole point of this exercise is we're going to show you how you can execute the stored procedure and bring in the parameters in different ways. You can have positional parameters, or you can have name parameters, or you can have a combination of both. You're going to fully understand how this process works. The purpose of this stored procedure is to show you different ways you can execute with parameters. Here I've got 3 input parameters, prod1, prod2, prod3. So this stored procedure will expect 3 different integers when I execute it. So I'm going to select the product ID. I'm going to get the month of the sale date, and I'm going to get the year of the sale date. So I've got product ID, month and year, and I want to sum the daily sales. This will be interesting in itself. I'll show this more clear later. But now we're going to put in the product IDs of the first one, the second one, and the third input parameter. And we're going to do a group by grouping sets. It's almost like it's going to give us 3 reports in one. But that's not really the point here. As I said, I'll explain this even more detailed later, but I want to show you how you can execute this with positional parameters versus name parameters. So remember, we've got 3 different input parameters coming in. So we're going to execute our parameter choice stored procedure, and 1,000, 2,000, and 3,000 will be the product IDs. They're positional. The first one, 1,000, is for prod 1. The second one is for prod 2. And the third one is for prod 3. The order is everything. We execute this, we get a report. Now, here is the report. This shows me what I did in the year 2000, what I did per month, which actually totals 862,404.35. And again, the third report here is what I did per product ID. And if you add those up, it totals 862,404.35. That's the brilliant part of this. But I wanted to show you the difference between a parameter that is positional versus one that's named. Here we actually say prod 1, right there is the 1,000. Ooh, but I've got prod 3 next. So it doesn't have to be in the perfect order, because I'm actually saying this one represents prod 3 and here it represents prod 2. These are names, so they can be in any order. When I execute this, I'm going to get the same report. I've just done it with a little bit different execution style. You've got your name parameters and you've got your positional parameters, and it's going to give me the same report. Now, what's really fascinating about this is I'm going to do it again. This first is a positional parameter that represents prod 1, because that's the first and the 1,000 was the first. But here I now put name parameters, so I can actually have a combination of a positional parameter and then name parameters, and I'm going to get the same report either way. I've run this 3 times. I've gotten the same exact report each and every time, just did it a little bit differently in how I executed this. And that's the really clever thing about this. You've got to be able to have a good understanding of positional parameters that you're passing in versus name parameters, which the order doesn't matter because you're giving it a specific name. But the really interesting piece that was fascinating to me was the combination.
This lesson is brought to you by Coffing Data Warehousing. Begin your Teradata journey the right way with our Teradata Basics book. Visit coffingdw.com for more information.